I'm going to be bold by saying this might be my favorite scrap buster project to date. Let me know your thoughts below. I'm Ingrid Carlsen, and I am so very happy that you are here with me today. And if you want to learn how to make these, then stay tuned. Also, if you're not already following me, this would be a great time. And don't forget to hit that bell so you get notified anytime a new video comes out. We're going to start off by grabbing our cardboard, and in my case, it's going to be this cereal box that I've had for who knows how long. So we are going to start, I'm going to show you two different methods to do this. You can either, I guess I'll start with the first one. We can use a punch, and so this one's probably the easiest method just because you are already guaranteed that all the shapes are exactly the same size. I'm going to cut out 4 of these. And we'll start with that, which I think is a good amount. If you put them together, you can see it's thick without being too thick. And I'm going to scuff up the glossy side just a little. You don't probably have to do this part. But I think it will help the glue adhere better. So I think if I was doing this on my own, I would use more of a wet glue and allow it to dry. But because it's a video, I'm going to use my glitter glue, and I'm just going to put the shiny sides together. On the first one, it doesn't matter what order, but I do like for both the back and the front be the regular cardboard side, just because it's just solid. It's a solid color. You don't need to you know, buff it out anymore, do anything. It's kind of like a blank slate for you. So there's our first little set of discs. Now, if you have a punch, like a square, or really any shape you want, feel free to use that here. I'm gonna go ahead and makeshift it, and I'll show you how I do it. I'm just gonna start with my piece. I'm gonna make sure to cut off any areas that are not flat. Like for instance, right here you had like these little folds, and so I'm going to cut those off. I think this is a good size. Now if you want your rectangles to be perfect, then by all means measure, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually do this a little different. Put this down. I apologize if the camera's shaking a little. I'm going to take my shiny piece. I think that this works the best when you're hand cutting. And you can definitely allow this a couple minutes to glue. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to show you there is going to be a difference between the hole punch, or not the hole punch, but the punched ones versus the ones that you do on your own. Just a little bit. They're not going to be as even. Now, what I will say is I think that if you're going to do this, just either clamp it and let it dry, or hold on to it for, I say usually about 20 seconds, and that should do the trick. That made a huge difference, actually. And we're almost there. And when I'm working, I like to, if I have a straight edge somewhere, line up my pieces to the straight edge, and that way that kind of guarantees me at least one side will be straight. In this case, I cut the whole thing out, so you can see here it's not very square, but I will hopefully fix that. I'm gonna and really, when it's all said and done, if it's not completely even, it doesn't matter. You could also take like a sanding board and sand it down so that it's even, but I'm not going to do that. So now we have two ways of doing it. You saw how quick really both of them were, and they're pretty solid. I can see a little bit of lifting here. I probably need a little more glue or to hold it down better. So when you're doing it at home, make sure that you're pressing it down, that the glue is all the way to the edges, and before you keep going. And then we're going to do one other one. Let's do a square. Well, we'll try to do a square, since I don't like to measure. A square is going to be a little harder maybe. I'm just going to start by cutting this out to make it a little more manageable. I'm going to cut out until I have what I think is a square. Let's see. That looks pretty good to me. So we're going to go with this. I will. Make sure to get the edges here on this one. And again, I don't have a completely like straight edge. We're going to hold it down. Okay, that's about 20 seconds. Cut it out. And we're literally just repeating the same steps. This is a great project to, number one, recycle. Number two, use up, something that would have which is the same as recycling, but you're actually using something that would be considered as junk and you're making something beautiful from it. And, you know, some of these pieces can last forever or, you know, be passed down for generations, especially when we seal them, they'll be around for a long time. So you have that. And then I lost my I lost my thought. Okay, so and this is a great project that you can do. It's very like, especially making the blanks, then you can sit and watch your favorite show, put on your K-drama, and just kind of cut and glue. And you don't have to think too much about it. And then you can leave these in your bin or, you know, wherever you put like your little scrap buster projects. I feel like I cut too, that's okay. I'm just gonna keep rolling. It's okay if it's crooked. And then when you're ready to make a project, then you can decorate them. Or you could, you know, take a day where you cut a bunch of shapes out, glue them together. And if you have time that later that day, then you can decorate. If you don't have time, then you can decorate on a different day. So you can have it however, you can put as much into this as you want. So you can have a bunch of little charms ready to go and just to add to a journal, or you can have them where they're partially done and then you can still customize them to fit, you know, each journal specifically. Again, I've talked about this before in the past. I think that the key to a good adhesion with glue is the contact. Oh, look, I messed up. I wasn't thinking. I was talking. I was not thinking. So we're going to leave it. We're just going to go with it. But normally I like to have the regular color, or the, you know, the cardboard color. So anyways, the trick with adhesion is making sure that it's all the sides, like everything's like being pressed down, burnished down, so that it makes a good hold on every side, so there's no air bubbles. Now you can see here, hopefully it's picking up, that I have a lot of ridges. So I'm going to just take this, I'm going to show you. It keeps catching and I'm like breaking the, that's weird. Anyway, so there you go. You can see there. And then if you like this better too, go ahead and do all your edges. I don't really care. I like that it doesn't look perfect and I'm okay with that. I am going to sand this. Okay, so let's clean off our desk area, or our working space, and let's start decorating. So you already guessed it, we're going to be using scraps. So I'm going to start off with covering these pieces, and I'm going to do the same thing as with covering them, the way that I did these two, where I glued them on top of each other and then cut out. So I'm just looking over on my desk. You guys know I have these bins, and I am looking for music paper to see. There we go. Oh, this one's, that's okay. It's one of our eco prints, but I can actually use this little corner right here and not bother the eco prints. think I'll be going into it just a little. That's okay. So I'm gonna hold that down, put some pressure on it so that it makes a good adhesion. I think there's a better word for that, but I cannot think of it at the moment. You know, when you start filming, it's like all bets go out the window. It's like, who knows what I will say. And again, you can choose to leave a raw edge here if you wanted to. When I cut, I'm kind of cutting into the cardboard, so I'm cutting at an angle instead of straight up and down. I'm just tilting it just a little so that I'm getting as close to the edge as I possibly can. And there we go. And again, you can file this down if you want. Let's find some other paper. And these can be as 1 or 2 dimensional. I'll do one that is, I'll do this one in more of a 3-dimensional, like more of a cluster style. Can't decide. I don't want to do music paper on that one. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to, so that you get a little bit better. Let's just use book page. Oh, actually, oh, that has the stamping on it. Maybe we'll use that. We'll do that, and you can kind of see the book page underneath it. Even though I'm going, like I said, I'm going to make this one a little more 3-dimensional, so that was probably a little too much glue. I can kind of see through the paper to line up I probably didn't need that much glue either, but I could see through the paper to line up the edges. And it's still like overhanging just a little, so I'll probably, I was gonna say saw it, but sand it down. I'll be cleaning these scissors later. Okay, so we have it's already transformed. Like you can't even tell what this was. And then on this one, I am going to use, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and use it. That took me a little longer to think about than it should have, but I'm going to go on this edge because that's like the harder paper to use. I'm going to just hold it down for about 10 seconds. And just cut around. So I think on this one, we're gonna make this one, the 3-dimensional one, or yeah, have more pieces to it. So I'm gonna start off with some of this paper because it's got a really nice like crinkly edge. I also, when I was doing that. Oh, I kind of like this. I know we already have a circle, but this is going to be a background piece, so I don't mind. And we're just going to build this up just like we do clusters. You already know I love that. That was real country. That came out real country. You guys already know that I love to layer. I wonder if I have any of the Tim Holtz like little tiny people. I feel like that's a thing. I feel like I have some, but we'll see. Those are pretty little. Oh, and that little baby right there. I think I'm off camera, but she's so little. Okay. And then I'm going to, originally I was thinking some black in the background to layer her, but I kind of like the idea. I just saw some pink over there and I like the idea. And this might be a little boy. So either way, I like the idea of pink. And you've got the pink and blue. I think they go really well together. Oh, that's so cute already. Let's see if I can get some of this embossed flower in there. I don't know if it'll show. We're gonna try it. I don't want to let go because I have it in a really nice spot. Here. That's so cute. Now I'm a little sad that the music paper disappeared in the background, but I'm happy with the result, so I'm okay. Again, like we've done in the past, I'm gonna hold this really tight and I'm gonna get my little glue nozzle and I'm gonna work underneath it and just kind of flood it behind there. I'm gonna do my bottom layers first. Next level, and with our baby here, our little baby, I'm gonna try to lift them up. Okay. I need a little more glue. Oops. Okay. So I'm gonna look to see if I do. I have a big clamp, so I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna lay it diagonal because it's getting most of the pieces, and I'm just gonna leave that to dry. Okay, we're going to, actually, I think we're not gonna do much to this one. We're gonna leave it as is. And on the last one, we're gonna paint a little flower together. I'm gonna hold your hand. We're gonna do this and it's gonna be adorable. If you have watercolor paints, go ahead and grab those. That's what I'll be using. But if you don't, feel free to use acrylics, or you can use ink sprays. You can use really anything that you want. I'm gonna go grab my watercolor, and I don't know where my little palette is, so I'm just gonna use this. That's from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna use this as a palette. I I don't want that brush. I want a round brush, and I think I'm going to use a smaller brush to get into. I think this one is good. Let's see if it says the size. No, I think that's just paint. I'm not really sure what size this is. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to start off with and we're just going to do a simple rosebud. It's going to be very easy, I promise. We're going to take our red, and let's just use this. I want it kind of watered down as our first layer. And we're just going to add kind of like a teardrop shape. Before it dries, I'm going to add a little bit more of color on the edges. And now I'm going to take a green. Any green will do. I'm going to take this olivey green because it's my favorite. And I'm just going to come down in a curve. For my leaf, I'm going to go up, down, so it's not like a straight leaf that goes up. And then I'm going to now make it into a leaf. So it gives it a little bit more dimension. And then this one we can do upward. Now my rosebuds usually have like the little greenage, the green leaves up at the top, like kind of hugging the little rosebud, keeping it protected. So I'm gonna blow on this real quick. To try to dry it some. And I'm going to, using that same green, I'm gonna come around the edge, and I'm just gonna hug it on both sides. And I'm good with it coming over the edge a little bit. Now, if you wanted to, you could add like a little bit of blue inside of your green. I think that that's always very pretty in a floral. Where's my green? Oops, that was the wrong green that I just used. It's okay. I'm gonna go with it anyways. No one will know. Okay, and now I'm going to take a deeper red, and I don't remember which of these is. Okay, so I think I'm going to use a Pyrrole Crimson from Daniel Smith. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 across. 6. It's funny, it does not look like it would be like the darkest red, but we're going to trust it. Ooh, pretty dark. Okay, I'm going to take some of that paint off actually. And I'm just going to go up at the very top of the rose and just add little like kind of dots like that. And that's it. That's it. We just painted a beautiful rosebud, and it took us, what, 5 minutes? And once you get going, you can do multiple of these. Now we're going to go to the next step. So since this one doesn't need to dry at all, I'm going to start with that one. And then we'll go to this one next, and then our painted one last, so that we can give her a little time to dry. So I'm actually going to stick these up here and take that off, and I'm going to work on here. We are going to be grabbing some glitter. Okay, you have a couple different options. If you don't want glitter, you can always use some gold paint. You can also use a gold marker. This one is just like a paint marker. This one's in pink. You can use any color that you want. I'm going to be using gold around it so that it looks more fancy. So also the back, we can finish the backs off as well. So I think for the backs, let's actually do the backs first before we go and do the edges. For the backs, I'm just going to lay whatever I have. So I just, since I had pulled this before, I think that that's going to be really pretty. Oops. Just throwing stuff all over the place. Don't mind me. And we're going to, unfortunately, I cannot see through this one since it's opaque. I'm just gonna, you know, it doesn't matter. It's our back. It might end up being our front, but it's our back side, so it's okay. Whatever comes out, comes out. And I feel like you cannot go wrong with an embossed image. It adds so much character. And it's going to finish it off without us having to do very much work. Like how adorable that is. It's like perfect. Okay, so probably while we do the other sides, and because our little baby already has pink on the back, I won't do the same thing, but maybe that's where my music paper will come in since I didn't get to use it before. Let's see if I have any over here. I don't think that I do. I think I've used it all. Well, I have this piece, so I could use again that. Let's do it. I could also use the gold. Maybe I'll do that. That gold leaf at the bottom. I don't know if it'll show up that well, but whoopsies. I'm trying to use the shadow of the paper. All right, we'll just see what happens. I'm gonna hold it down. Let's cut her out and see. Originally, I was going to use that edge because you guys know I love that edge. But since we're using an image on the front, it's okay. So that's pretty. You can see the top of the flower, and I think that's good. It doesn't need to be ornate in the back. I'll put this here, and then let's do the circle. I don't know if it's dried all the way yet. I feel like it's not, but look how sweet she is already. Okay, let's I know I want to use music paper again, but I'm not going to. Oh, what I will use, I'm going to use a printable from Patreon because I have this. I think this will look really pretty on the back, so we're gonna use this. Push that to the side and maybe take some of this glue off. On this one, I'm going to let gravity do some of the work, so I'm going to try not to touch where the paint is and then just push down around the sides or the edges. while I'm waiting for that to adhere, I will tell you, if you guys do any of this, any scrap busters, anything like that, and you want to, feel free to tag me over on Instagram if you guys post. Even if you don't post, you can send me a DM and send me a picture of it. I'd love to see it. And if you'd like, I'll share it in my stories. If you are private and you don't want people to see your artwork and stuff, then just let me know and I will be more than happy to, you know, protect your privacy. So, but I love seeing projects. And I hope you guys do this one. I mean, I hope you do all of the series. And if this is your first time here, first of all, welcome. Second of all, make sure that you're following and that you have your notifications turned on. It's the little bell underneath the video so that you get notified anytime a new video comes out. But if you don't know, I have a series of things like this where we are building, we're doing scrap busters, and we are building pieces that we're making them ahead so that we can use them in our journals in the future. And I have more projects. I'll have the playlist linked down below. You can also save the playlist, and then every time I update it, it will automatically update for you, and then you'll get to see what's new on there, and they'll all be collected for you in one spot. Okay, so where did I put? Is it under there? Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Maybe I'll just do the edge and the edge. Okay, and just hold that. So we're gonna start with this one. I'm gonna grab some glitter, and feel free to use whatever glitter you have. I'm gonna grab my big bin of glitters. I think, of course, I'm going to use some gold. I'm also going to show you, maybe we'll do it on the back of one. You could also use sticklers, and then I'm going to pull out my glossy accents. This is an old one. I've had it for, I couldn't even tell you how many years. I'm just looking through my stuff to see what, I think that's good. And that's going to be the glossy accents, or the sticklers is going to be to put on top. But first we're going to work on the edges. I think I'm going to use tacky glue to do this. Let's clean off my gunky glue here. And I'm also going to grab a piece of paper. I'll probably just grab this. It's fine. And so I'm gonna just lay this underneath. I'm gonna run my glue along the edges, and I don't mind if it goes over the edge. You see how there's just like a little over the edge? I'm good with that. I think we'll do two sides. Well, actually with this glue, I think we can do all 4 sides. And we're gonna start to sprinkle. How cute that is already. And don't mind me, I'll be sneezing up glitter for the rest of the day. So originally I was gonna smash it down like I did the top part, but I kind of like where the glue is on the edges here. So I'm going to just lay this on this little paper over here to give it some time to dry. So if you don't want as much glitter, you can definitely do that. Go ahead and do this little guy, and I feel like some colored glitter would be good, but I don't know if I can find it. So let's see. I do have some. It's not the same color, but it's okay. Meaning it's not the same pink that I'm using here, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll still coordinate enough. Now I think on this one, I want it to be like a little less glitter. So when I'm applying the glue, I'm pushing down on the cardboard so that I'm not having like a big bead of glue. And then I'm going to take the glitter and pour it on my paper and then dip. It would be better if this was spread out. There we go. I'm just gonna dip into it. Very cute. Do one more. I'm like, no, I don't want a lot of glitter. Proceeds to add more glitter. I'm just a glitter kind of girl. Okay, let's stick that one over there. And our last one, I won't do glitter. I'll do some paint. So like I said, you can use a paint pen, but since a lot of people might not have a paint pen, I'm going to show you using some regular paint. I am going to use this gold though. I've shown it before. I love this. It's from Target. It's the Handmade Modern brand, and it's a metallic in 20K gold. Because I'm gonna paint, I'm actually gonna use this as a kind of cheat. And we're gonna just go around the edge. Whenever I'm doing something like this, I like to use the paint that settles on the edge or on my lid because it's a little thicker. It will mean more drying time for you, but it also means like a thicker coverage. So. And again, just like we did with the glitter, you can choose to go over the paper as little or as much as you want. I'm going to see how it looks first, and then I'll add a little bit. That's pretty cute. So now we're going to set this piece over to the side to dry a little, and we are going to grab our, actually we're gonna let this dry completely, and then I'm gonna clean this up and we're gonna grab our crocodiles and add some holes to it. Of course, I did not wait for it to completely dry, but you should. So you're going to decide where you want your your charm to hang. Do you want it hanging from the middle, from the side? Because I have nothing right here, I am going to choose that area. I'm also going to grab, oh, I didn't think about this. Yeah, it fits. I'm gonna grab the smaller hole. There we go. I kind of got scared there for a minute, like, oh, I did not think this through. What if it doesn't fit? On this one, I'm going to kind of go in the middle. You know, the middle is tricky sometimes because you should get it centered, but I'm going to get it as close as I can. I went pretty close to the edge because I like living on the edge. Just gotta pop that. Okay, out. I have my little chipboard stuck up here, so oh, there we go. Okay, the last one, this is the hardest one to do because it's the rose, and I didn't think of this when I drew it. You're gonna want the rose off to the side. So because of that, my hole is gonna go here somewhere. She'll still be adorable. I think my glue, oh, there it goes. Look how cute that looks already. Okay, now since that's not completely dry, we can go ahead and go on to the next part. So we can add our glossy accents, or you can leave them flat like this. And I think I'm gonna leave the rose flat, but I think on this one I'm going to add, even though I like it flat, let's start with the baby. Let's add it to the baby. And if you've ever done like sugar cookies, this is kind of, or you know, cookies that get icing, like the, what is that called? Royal icing, maybe? So that's kind of the same thing. When you first put it down, it's kind of, and this is kind of yellowed because it's old, but I'm okay with that. I'm not too worried. I like things yellowed anyways, so I think it'll just add to the charm of it. Charm. So when you first put it out, it kind of comes streaky, and then it starts like right there. You can see the little lines, and as it sits, it'll settle. And you can feel free to add as much or as little of this as you want. I'm going to try it. My paper's coming up just a little, so I will try to work around it. I like adding the glossy accents after the hole's been punched so that I don't have to go through that as well. And if you lay your piece kind of to the side, so you're looking at it at an angle, let's see if I can pick this up like this. And so then you can see if you've missed any spots. You can also take it and tap it. I see one little spot right here. And you might, oh, I got a little glitter in there. I got, oh, when I did that, some glitter went on. I'm okay. Or we can, here, we can pick them out. It was easy. Less easy, but we did it. And that's why you want your glitter to be dry. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. So now for the glossy accents, you're going to want that little sucker to dry for a while. So I'm looking at the back of the, it says 15 to 60 minutes. So I would wait at least the 60. Now the other thing you can use is the stickles. So I'm not going to use it on there, but I am going to show you in case you've never seen stickles before. What it is, it's pretty much like, I mean, I think it's like just glitter glue, but they charge more for it. You might disagree. You might think, no, it's way better than that, which it might be. I think I have a little, there we go, a little tag right here. So I'm just going to take this and I think that the way that they recommend to do it is to line the edges kind of like you would a cookie and then fill in. But you can see here with the stickles, it gives a really pretty sheen to it. I'm gonna actually just use my finger and spread it out so that it's a little bit thinner, so I can see that date still poking through, but that's what your stickles are. So if you were going for something that was very like dramatic, girly, and you want it to very much sparkle, go with stickles. So now we're going to completely allow these to dry, and then I will be back and then we will pin them on something. You already know that I did not wait for that to dry, but it's been about half an hour or so. It's still tacky, but it's not completely wet. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you how I would decorate some of these or how I would hang them. So this would be a good option. All the supplies that I'm using, I will try to have linked in my Amazon storefront, which is linked underneath the video if you're looking for anything specific. These are like baby diapers, and I've actually painted them. They were colored, and I think that would be really cute to put, and that would go with any safety pin you have. Hang on. There we go. So I think that is very sweet. I also love bulb pins. You guys already know that this is one of my favorite things. Also, what I love about these is that they're very flexible. Well, you can kind of flex them out of shape and then flex them back in to close, and that is just so precious. I also think that you can take this up a notch by adding, you could add a button and then add, and that's probably a little too big for this pin, but maybe for that one that would look cute. Since this one is very simple, you can add that, and that's really cute. You can also add some sequins. So I have these little sequins, and I think that these are really cute. I like adding about 3. I've already talked about this in previous videos, but I decorate a lot using in my home life as well as in any kind of art crafting. I like to follow the principle or the rule of 3s. And look how sweet that is. I don't know that I'd put pink with this one. I was thinking more for that one. Maybe I would put whites or creams, maybe even gold would be really pretty. But you can kind of see here the possibilities are endless with it. You could also, I thought this would be cute, if you didn't do a hole in it and you just like added this and then added, what's that safety pin? Added the safety pin to hold on to this. I thought that would be really cute. You can also add ribbon if you have ribbon or pieces of fabric. So I'm just gonna do an example here. You just run it through the bulb pin. And you can just do a simple tie. Simple little knot here, and it just elevates the project to the next level. You can go all out with these. You can go as fancy or as plain as you want. And I'm just going to show you, if this is my journal, you can easily, I'm just going to go with this one. Look how adorable that is. And if you don't want to attach it with the safety pin and you want to add you can add an eyelet or a grommet here, and then you can add the pin, or you can even add some kind of fabric or ribbon or lace or something and then add it. So really you can do so many different things. This might be my favorite project to date. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this so adorable? Are you going to try it out? Have you done this before? And any tips or tricks that you have, we'd love to hear them. So thank you so much for being here today. I just want to thank you again for spending your time with me, for just being here, for your love, for your likes and your comments, and just for your support. It means the world to me, and I am so very, very thankful to each and every one of you. And just in case you haven't been told today, I love you. You are so loved. You are appreciated. You are valued, and you are worthy. And I pray that you have a blessed day today. Until we see each other next time. Love you. Bye.